welcome you to the inauguration of the second edition of Indian Railway Sourcing Week. The three-day event to be held over 2nd to 4th February 2022 is being organized by EEPC India with the support from Ministry of Railways and Department of Commerce, Government of India. The second edition of Indian Railway Sourcing Week will see the participation from over 20 railway units, PSUs and subsidiaries, and aims to create a linkage for the Indian MSMEs with the railway sector. With these few words, I request Mr. Mahesh Desai, Chairman EEPC India, to begin the proceedings of today's session with his welcome remarks.
Thank you, Pallavi. Good morning to everybody. My special welcome to Dr. Shrikar Reddy, Joint Secretary, Department of Commerce, Government of India, Mr. Arun Goradia, Vice Chairman, EEPC India, Mr. Pawan Shah, Past Chairman, EEPC India, Mr. Rakesh Shah, Past Chairman, EEPC India, and all other participants. Dear industry colleagues and friends from media, good morning, and I am glad to extend my warm welcome to you all for this much awaited and inaugural session of the 3 days Indian Railways Sourcing Week beginning today. The railways, which basically comprises the system of a rolling stocks, its tracks, railway stations, has been actually the most important capital-intensive investment for the overall economic development for any nation. The railways has been the most important asset, yielding maximum compounding effect on the development of economy and its social infrastructure. It has been responsible for the strengthening of the engineering supply chain and logistics, which has over the years resulted in the flourishing of industries and trade across the geography of this subcontinent. Today, it is one of the single largest sourcing institutions in India for MSMEs under the Government of India. The true contribution of railway is very difficult to assess. Its milestones and achievements in serving the world's largest democracy and demography is a national pride in its own right. Railways provide ample opportunities for the development in several engineering sectors, be it metallurgy, material science, mechanical, electronics, and other allied sciences and services. Since the participation of private sector has been open, the operation of railways is likely to be highly competitive. Over the past decade, the railways has uncovered its face as one of the fast transforming and enterprising India, which shall mirror India's development in 21st century. India recently broke the US dollar 3 trillion economic ceiling. Its engineering exports is already on its course to exceed the record of 81 billion in the year 21-22. We are hopeful that the targets given by the government of 107 billion, we are positive and confident to achieve the same in this year. No doubt, much of these achievements have to be credited to the Indian Railways. Today, as the world is starting at yet another deadly wave of pandemic, railways around the world are offering its infrastructure as life support to the economies. In the post-COVID scenario, the importance of rail infrastructure is bound to increase multifold across the world as it realizes the need for environment-friendly, mass rapid mobility and also efficient and fast freight logistics with the view to reduce dependence on imported petroleum products and to enhance nation's security. 100% electrification of broad gauge routes are targeted to be completed by December 2023. The eastern and western dedicated freight corridor are also slated to be commissioned by June 2022. This will be game changer for Indian economy and engineering sector. The railway-led technology and real estate boom could also be a game changer in the Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities in the coming decades. With the modernization of railways in India in terms of faster, efficient, safer transportation services, the engineering goods supply chain would also transform itself into high-tech, cater to its vast opportunities which are opening up. Keeping in view of the above, I'm happy that EPC India is organizing such a major platform for vendor development at such an opportune moment. This is the second edition of prestigious Indian Railways Sourcing Week, which EPC India is organizing with the support of Ministry of Railways and Department of Commerce, Government of India. I am extremely grateful for the guest speakers for the Indian Railways and major manufacturers, suppliers to have spared their valuable time and have understood the aspirations of the industry. I once again extend my sincere thanks to Dr. Shrikar Reddy, Joint Secretary, Department of Commerce, Government of India, who has graced this occasion. I am thankful to all the supporters and teamwork by EPC India, which has created this platform. We can understand the importance of railway in yesterday's budget also, where the finance minister has announced 400 Vande Bharat trains in coming 3 years, as well as modernization of railway stations, multimodal platform. So all this will help us for a smooth flow of goods and material, which ultimately will lower our transaction cost and speedy reach to the ports for exports. I wish all the best to the participants and look forward to the very productive session over the course of coming 3 days. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your address and for setting the context of today's inaugural session. I now invite Dr. Srikar Reddy, Joint Secretary, Department of Commerce, for his inaugural address.
Yeah, Sri Mahesh Desai, Chairman EPC India. Sri Arun Garodia ji, Vice Chairman EPC India. Past Chairman from EPC, senior officials from Railway PSUs, MSME members of EPC. Good morning to all of you. I'm extremely happy and honored to speak at the inaugural session of the second edition of Indian Railway Sourcing Week. organized by EPC India. I would like to thank the Ministry of Railways for supporting this event. I request, I think all of you to mute your mics. We all know that Indian Railways is among the world's largest rail network with a spread over 67,956 kilometers and with over 13,000 passenger trains and around 8,500 freight trains, flying 23 million travelers and 3 million tons of freight daily. And also, Indian Railways is one of the biggest and most sought after national level organizations among the micro, small, and medium enterprises to work with. The railway network is also ideal for long distance travel and movement of bulk commodities, apart from being an energy efficient and economic mode of conveyance and transport. Indian Railways is also preferred carriers for engineering products, especially automobiles in the country. Railway sector is a key driver for Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat vision. The Railways is also a single largest procurement agency under the single management of the Government of India. So today's event of this vendor development of MSMEs for supplying to Indian Railways is a very important forum which is being organized by the EPC India. Also, the decade 2020-2030 is expected to usher Indian Railways into a new era of public-private partnerships, where MSMEs are expected to play a major role in expansion, upgradation, and modernization of Indian Railways. Railway investments have a multiplier effect of 5, that is, incremental investment of 1 rupee in railway sector leads to overall incremental output of 5 rupees in the Indian economy. So, being aware of this potential, Government of India has focused on investing in railway infrastructure by making investor-friendly policies. It has moved quickly to enable FDI in railways to improve infrastructure for freight and high-speed trains. At present, several domestic and foreign companies are also looking to invest in Indian rail projects. As regards exports in the sector, India's exports of railways has grown at a compound annual growth rate of 31% during 2010 to 18 to $507 million. The exports of railways in 2019 stood at 635 million. India mainly exports railway rolling stock to neighboring countries like Myanmar, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka. The exports to the neighboring countries are mostly for projects financed by Exim Bank of India under the Lines of Credit program of the Government of India. While the quantum of exports in the railway sector is not significant at present, as compared to other sectors like automotive industry, India's domestic suppliers are all well equipped to produce railway equipment aligned to broad gauge infrastructure, as this is the predominant truck gauge in India. They may explore overseas market with similar infrastructure such as Bangladesh, Nepal, Argentina, Chile, CIS states, USA, Spain, and Portugal. Now, with the specific interventions of the Government of India, Indian railway network is growing at a healthy rate. The next 5 years, Indian railway market will be the third largest, accounting for 10% of the global market. I also note that the Government of India has announced 2 key initiatives for seeking private investments, which is running passenger trains by private operators across the railway network and redevelopment of railway stations across the country. According to Indian Railways, these projects have the potential of bringing an investment of over $7.5 billion in the next 5 years, apart from creating job opportunities for large number of people in India. According to the National Railway Plan, private sector would have major opportunities in the areas of operations, ownership of rolling stock, development of freight and passenger terminals, besides development and operations of track infrastructure. As the Chairman Mahir Desai has just now informed about the announcements made in the budget yesterday, in a bid to strengthen this sector and to provide a boost to the Indian economy, an outlay of 1,40,367 crore has been allocated in 2022-23 to the Ministry of Railways. And also 400 new generation Vande Bharat trains will be built over a period of next 3 years. 100 Gati Shakti cargo terminals to be developed in the next 3 years. And further, over 2,000 kilometers of railway track to be brought under the indigenous world-class technology Kavach system. One station, one product to be popularized to help local business and supply chain also. So India's SME manufacturing ecosystem will need to keep pace with Indian Railways, now targeting higher speeds, safer operations and higher payloads, and envisaging technology-efficient railway equipment system. There is a need for focused and sustained vendor development framework to encourage more productive SME participation in the Indian Railways and those with railway OEMs who are planning to set up manufacturing units in India. At the end, I take this opportunity to appreciate the efforts of EPC India for organizing this event with sessions covering various themes in covering vendor opportunities, policies, and procedures for procurement from MSMEs, etc. I hope the deliberations will have a significant impact in strengthening and developing linkages for MSME members of EPC with the Indian Railways. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your remarks and for highlighting the immense scope which the Indian MSME units have to boost their business with the railway sector. I now invite Mr. Arun Garodia, Vice Chairman, EPC India, to present the formal vote of thanks.
Dr. Srikar Reddy, Joint Secretary, Department of Commerce, Government of India. Mr. Mahesh Desai, Chairman, EPC India. Industry leaders, members from the media, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning to everyone. I extend my deep sense of appreciation to Dr. Srikar K. Reddy, Joint Secretary, Government of India, for spending some of his precious times today for sharing his valuable views on the prospect of railway sourcing opportunities for MSMEs in our country. Your guidance is crucial for us to lead proactive participation of MSMEs in railway manufacturing chain. As informed, EPC India is pleased to organize the second edition of Indian Railways Sourcing Week, which offers a unique opportunity for the Indian MSMEs to build linkages with Indian Railways, PSUs, and its subsidiaries and grow their business with the single largest sourcing institution of the country, that is the railways, as mentioned by Dr. Reddy. I hereby propose a hearty vote of thanks to you all and thank you for making this inaugural noteworthy success. I'm thankful to the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, and Ministry of Railways for their invaluable support and sincerely hope that we will continue to get all possible help and guidance from them in our journey going forward. I am also thankful in advance to all the railways units and entities who are joining with us over the next 3 days of the sessions for presentations and interactions with the industry. I'm glad that we will be interacting with over 20 speakers from such various organizations through various sessions. I conclude with the belief that this opening will open new vistas and raise curtains upon new set of opportunities for the engineering sector exclusively. And wishing all success and good wishes to the event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your remarks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
The second edition of Indian Railway Sourcing Week is now formally open. The registered participants are invited to join us for the first session of today with Jim on e-procurement and e-business with the railway sector. Thank you all for joining. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you.